The Galactic Council had many rules about interspecies childcare. Humans, as it turned out, broke most of them. Ambassador Jakar, of the Vrenthi Empire, watched through the observation window of the diplomatic quarters with 4 of his 6 eyes, utterly baffled by the scene unfolding before him. His translator implant buzzed with confusion, struggling to categorize what it was witnessing as either parental behavior or combat preparation. Inside the human quarters, a small Vrenthi cub, Mia, daughter of General Torvas, sat in what humans called a high chair. Purple nutrient paste covered her face, her tiny claws, the feeding tray, and a remarkable portion of the surrounding floor. More impressively, some had somehow reached the ceiling. Jakar's scientific mind struggled with the physics of that particular achievement. The human, Logan, stood before the catastrophe with his hands on his hips, surveying the damage with an expression Jakar had learned to identify as amused resignation. All right. Tiny tornado. Tiny tornado, Logan said, scratching his head. I turned my back for 30 seconds. 30. How did you even... He pointed at the ceiling. You know what? I don't want to know. Mia chittered happily, her fur standing on end with delight. In Vrenthi culture, such a mess would have resulted in immediate corrective discipline. Cubs needed to learn efficiency and order from their earliest days. Yet Logan was... Smiling, the human grabbed a cloth and approached the cub. But instead of the stern, silent cleaning Jakar expected, Logan began making the strangest facial contortions. His eyes crossed, his tongue stuck out, his cheeks puffed up like a Bulgarian fruit toad. Mia shrieked with laughter, actual laughter, something Jakar had never heard from a Vrenthi cub before. There's the giggle monster, Logan declared, gently wiping purple paste from Mia's face while continuing his bizarre expressions. He scrunched his nose, wiggled his ears, and made popping sounds with his mouth. Each silly face earned more chittering delight from the cub. This violated every Vrenthi principle. Cleaning was serious. Discipline was essential. Children learned through structure, not whatever this chaos was. Yet Jakar couldn't look away. Logan moved with remarkable efficiency despite his clownish behavior. One hand cleaned while the other made puppets with the cloth. He narrated his cleaning as if it were an epic adventure. And the brave Sir Washcloth ventures into the purple paste caves of Mount Mia Face. What dangers await? What mysteries shall he uncover? 1. Mia reached for him with paste-covered paws. Instead of avoiding the mess, Logan let her grab his nose, leaving tiny purple paw prints on his face. He crossed his eyes to look at them. Oh no! I've been marked. The purple paw of doom has claimed another victim. He staggered dramatically, and Mia squealed with joy. The door behind Jakar hissed open. General Torvas, Mia's father, entered the observation area. His military bearing was impeccable, his decorations numerous, his reputation fearsome across 3 star systems. Ambassador, Torvas greeted, moving to the window. Then he froze, seeing his daughter covered in nutrient paste, while the human made increasingly ridiculous faces. Jakar prepared for anger, for demands, for a diplomatic incident. Instead, General Torvas's mandibles twitched in what Jakar had learned was the Vrenthi equivalent of a smile. He does this every day, the general said softly. When I first left Mia in human care, I checked the monitors every 5 minutes. I was certain he would break her spirit, or fail to maintain proper discipline. And, Jakar asked, she has learned 17 words in standard. She no longer startles at loud sounds. Last week, she helped another cub who had fallen helped, Ambassador, without being commanded. She initiated compassion. Torvas's voice carried wonder. Vrenthi cubs don't do that. We're taught efficiency, hierarchy, order. But Mia is learning something else. On the other side of the glass, Logan had finished cleaning Mia's face and was now tackling the floor. He crawled on his hands and knees, making exaggerated groaning sounds and pretending the paste spots were evil blobs he had to capture. Each captured blob went into his cleaning bucket with a dramatic flourish. Mia watched from her chair, still giggling but now also studying his technique. The humans have a saying, Torvas continued. They claim that laughter is the best medicine. I thought it was merely another example of their illogical emotionalism. And now, Jacquard asked, now I see a cub who greets each day with joy instead of duty, who trusts instead of merely obeys, who creates rather than just follows. The general's claws tapped against the window frame. The council thinks humans are too chaotic for proper childcare, too emotional, too unpredictable. Logan had finished the floor and now stood up, making one final ridiculous face, tongue out, eyes crossed, fingers in his ears like antennae. Mia dissolved into fresh giggles. But perhaps, Torvas said quietly, that's exactly what the galaxy needs. The human scooped Mia from her chair, held her high above his head, and spun in a slow circle. The cub spread her arms wide, mimicking flight, her earlier mess completely forgotten in the pure joy of the moment. Jacquard's translator finally settled on a word for what he was witnessing. Play. Such a simple concept. Such a human concept. Yet watching the small Vrenthi cub beam with happiness, seeing the careful way Logan balanced silly faces with actual cleaning, observing how discipline and joy could coexist in the same moment, Jacquard understood something profound. Humans didn't just care for children, they celebrated them. I should file a report, Jacquard said, about the mess, the lack of proper protocol. Yes, General Torvas agreed. You should. They both continued watching through the window. Neither moved to file anything. Inside the quarters, Logan had started singing some absurd human song about cleaning up while making Mia's paws dance in rhythm. The cub chittered along, off-key and perfect. The Galactic Council had many rules about interspecies childcare. Watching Logan and Mia together, Jacquard thought perhaps it was time for some new ones. Human ones.